Many seniors silently struggle with a conflict they rarely admit. The heart still wants touch, affection, and passion, yet the world acts as if they're too old for romance. But that desire is natural, human, and still alive for a reason. Wanting to feel attractive, wanted, and connected isn't something you age out of. It's proof your spirit is still very much alive. Welcome to Senior Relationship After 60, the channel committed to real, honest conversations about love, connection, and companionship in the later chapters of life. Today, we're breaking a silence that has lasted far too long. We're diving into the trifecta of senior dating. Emotional vulnerability, the truth about physical intimacy as we age, and the importance of staying safe while opening your heart again. No judgment, no embarrassment, just clear, compassionate guidance made for you. Chapter 1. Redefining the spark. Emotional connection. In your younger years, dating often came with a checklist. Career goals, financial stability, plans for children, long-term ambition, and the ability to build a life with someone. Dating wasn't just about connection. It was about responsibility. You were choosing a partner to grow with, build with, and navigate the pressures of adulthood with. But after 60, something deeply meaningful shifts. Life becomes less about constructing a future and more about enjoying the present. The spark transforms, no longer fueled by ambition and urgency, but by comfort, resonance, and true emotional presence. Take Samuel, for example. In his 30s and 40s, he was drawn to partners who matched his pace. People who were goal-driven, always climbing, always planning. The chemistry he looked for came from alignment in career growth and shared long-term objectives. But now, in his early 70s, he realized that those priorities no longer match the life he's living. When he meets someone new, he isn't evaluating their 5-year plan or their financial strategy. He's listening for warmth. He's noticing whether the conversation feels forced or easy. He's paying attention to the feeling in the room, not the potential of the future. The spark for him now comes from gentleness, shared humor, and emotional steadiness rather than intensity or ambition. And then there's Faith. She spent decades raising children, supporting family, and putting others first. Her earlier relationships were shaped around responsibility. Being reliable, being strong, being someone others could lean on. But as she steps into a new chapter of life, she realizes she's no longer looking for someone who depends on her. She's looking for someone who appreciates her. Someone who values who she has become, not only who she used to be. One afternoon, while sharing tea with someone new, Faith noticed something she hadn't felt in years. It wasn't butterflies, it was peace. She wasn't judging the conversation through the lens of obligation. She wasn't thinking about what she needed to give. She was simply enjoying being seen, being heard, and being valued. The spark she felt wasn't a racing heart. It was a sense of emotional safety she didn't realize she'd been craving. This is the emotional evolution of dating after 60. The spark becomes gentler but deeper. It's less about adrenaline and more about alignment. Less about intensity and more about authenticity. Shared values, kindness, patience, humor, emotional steadiness, become far more important than shared ambition or shared responsibilities. Dating in this stage of life invites new questions. Do I feel understood? Do I feel calm with this person? Do they bring brightness to my days? Not through grand gestures, but through genuine presence. Redefining the spark isn't giving up on romance. It's discovering a richer version of it. One rooted in connection rather than pressure, and companionship rather than expectation. And that shift opens the door to some of the most meaningful relationships of your life. Chapter 2. The physical reality check, sex and health. For many people dating after 60, physical intimacy brings up a quiet fear. What if my body can't do what it used to? It's the elephant in the room that most couples avoid, even though both partners are often thinking the same thing. The truth is simple. Bodies change with age, but intimacy can still be deeply fulfilling, and in many ways even better than before. Let's begin with the facts. For women, menopause can shift everything from libido to comfort. Changes in estrogen levels may cause dryness, slower arousal, or sensitivities that didn't exist before. These aren't signs of failure, they're biological realities. And for many women, desire becomes more responsive than spontaneous. Meaning, attraction grows with emotional closeness, touch, and safety, rather than appearing automatically. For men, erectile dysfunction is incredibly common after 60. Not occasional, common. Reduced blood flow, medications, and stress can all play a role. But ED doesn't mean the end of intimacy. It means the approach needs to adjust. Arousal may take longer. Pressure needs to decrease. Connection needs to take the lead. And then there's body image. Something people rarely admit they still struggle with later in life. You don't have the same body you had at 25. And neither does your partner. Gravity shifts things. Skin softens. Joints speak up more than they used to. But here's the truth. Attraction after 60 is rarely about perfection. It's about presence, energy, kindness, confidence, and laughter. What people find beautiful at this age is honesty and comfort, not competition. So how do you handle this openly without embarrassment or awkwardness? By starting the expectations versus reality conversation before intimacy, not during. Here's a simple, pressure-free framework. 1. Start with reassurance, not confession. Instead of saying, "I have issues," try, "I want us to enjoy this at our own pace. I care more about connection than performance." This sets the tone, calm, human, real. 2. Normalize that both bodies may need time. You can gently say, "We're not 20 anymore, and that's okay. Let's give ourselves permission to explore what feels good now, not what used to." This removes the unspoken scorecard people pressure themselves with. 3. Share your needs without shame. For women, sometimes I need more warm-up or comfort. Just tell me if you need the same. For men, I may need patience or a slower approach. I'd like us to focus on closeness, not pressure. Both statements create partnership, not embarrassment. 4. Replace performance with curiosity. Try saying, "Let's figure out what works for us now together." This transforms vulnerability into teamwork. The most powerful part. When you say these words out loud, the anxiety vanishes. Both partners relax because no one is pretending anymore. No one is acting invincible. No one is afraid of disappointing the other. Intimacy after 60 isn't a test. It's an experience. A slow, warm, deeply human experience where communication matters more than stamina, and comfort matters more than speed. Bodies change, yes. But connection, laughter, tenderness, and desire can grow richer than ever when you stop trying to be the person you used to be, and allow yourself to be fully present with the person you are today. Chapter 3. Making room for a new love, navigating the past. Dating after 60 often means stepping into someone's life after they've already lived an entire chapter with someone else. Maybe they were married for decades. Maybe they survived the quiet ache of widowhood. Maybe they rebuilt themselves after a long, complicated divorce. And when you begin to care for this person, you might suddenly feel a surprising mix of warmth and insecurity. This feeling is normal. You're not jealous of the past. You're simply trying to understand your place in a story that didn't start with you. But here's the truth. Loving someone new never requires erasing who came before. Human hearts don't work like chalkboards. They're more like albums, capable of holding multiple chapters without diminishing any of them. Take Karen, for example. She started dating Isaac, a widower who lost his wife 5 years earlier. Isaac is kind, attentive, and fully present with Karen. But every so often, he mentions his late wife, usually when recalling a funny memory or talking about something they used to do together. At first, Karen didn't think much of it. But one evening, Isaac told a story about a vacation he once shared with his late spouse, and Karen felt a tightness in her chest she couldn't explain. She wondered silently, "Is there room for me?" Am I competing with someone I can never meet, never replace, never compare with? That tiny, aching insecurity is common and completely human. So how do you navigate it without allowing it to destroy something beautiful? 1. Understand that the past is not a rival. When a partner speaks of a late spouse or even a long-term ex, it doesn't mean they're longing to go backward. Simply means they lived deeply. Their ability to love someone in the past is the same capacity that allows them to love you now. A person who loved well before often loves generously again. 2. Ask for emotional clarity, not apology. Karen eventually expressed her feelings calmly. I appreciate hearing about your past. Helps me understand who you are. But sometimes I'm unsure where I fit in your life now. I just want to feel secure with you. Isaac responded with something she didn't expect. You're not here to replace her, Karen. You're here because this part of my life deserves its own joy. I like the chapter we're writing now. That moment didn't erase Isaac's past. It simply defined Karen's place in his present. 3. Avoid forcing your partner to hide their history. If someone feels pressured to never mention their former spouse, they'll feel like they're betraying a part of themselves. And in trying to protect your feelings, they may begin hiding memories, emotions, or stories, creating tension instead of closeness. Honesty builds security. Silence builds doubt. 4. Create new traditions together. One of the best ways to feel grounded in a new relationship is to shape experiences that belong only to the two of you. New routines, new jokes, new habits, new memories. These don't erase the past. They simply give the present its own identity. 5. Recognize the difference between nostalgia and comparison. If your partner reminisces with warmth, that's nostalgia. If they constantly compare you to their past relationship, that's a conversation. You are not required to accept comparisons. Ever. But you can accept stories because stories are not competition. 6. Give yourself permission to be valued for who you are now. You don't need to match someone's history to matter in their future. In the end, love after 60 isn't about replacing anyone. It's about expanding your life with someone who appreciates what you both bring into the current moment. When you allow each other to honor the past while protecting the present, you create a partnership built on maturity, confidence, and emotional realism. There is room for new love. You simply need to step into it without fear of shadows, because you are not competing with memory. You are building a new, meaningful chapter with someone who chose you for this season of their life. Chapter 4. The New Rules of Protection, Safety. One of the most misunderstood realities of modern senior dating is this. STIs are rising sharply among people over 60. And not because older adults are careless. It's because many were never taught to think about sexual health in a world where pregnancy is no longer a concern. Once the fear of pregnancy disappears, many assume intimacy becomes risk-free. But in today's dating landscape, safety has evolved, and so must the conversations that protect both partners. Bringing up sexual health isn't about suspicion or distrust. It's about dignity, clarity, and honoring the connection you're choosing to build. Mature love deserves mature honesty. Here's the truth, having this safety talk is not awkward, it's responsible. And the person who respects you will appreciate your courage, not question it. Imagine this scenario. You've been spending meaningful time with someone you genuinely enjoy. The emotional spark is there. The physical chemistry is building. You know that intimacy is becoming a real possibility. Instead of allowing assumptions to fill the silence, you decide to take intentional control. This is how you bring it up confidently, without killing the moment or making it feel like an interrogation. 1. Start from a place of respect, not fear. You might say something like, "I'm really enjoying where this connection is going, and I want us to take the next steps in a way that protects both of us. Can we talk about our expectations around health and safety?" Notice what this does. It centers the relationship, not suspicion. It invites partnership, not pressure. Signals maturity, not insecurity. 2. Ask about exclusivity gently but clearly. Exclusivity shouldn't be assumed at any age. Two people may feel close, but their expectations may not match. Instead of guessing, clarify. Before intimacy becomes part of this relationship, I think it's important we talk about whether we're seeing each other exclusively or exploring connections separately. This avoids misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and unexpected risks. 3. Normalize discussing STI testing. This conversation isn't just for younger adults. It's for anyone becoming intimate. You can frame it like this. I believe in starting intimacy with honesty. Would you be open to us both getting up-to-date health checks so we know we're protecting each other? You're not singling them out. You're including yourself. That's what makes the request fair and mature. 4. Understand that sexual health is part of emotional safety. People often forget that intimacy doesn't just involve physical closeness. It involves trust. When both partners feel protected and informed, the emotional bond grows deeper. Safety makes intimacy more enjoyable, not less. 5. Don't apologize for wanting clarity. Many seniors hesitate to bring up sexual health because it feels embarrassing or too formal. But adults over 60 have as much right to protect their bodies as anyone else. The only thing that's outdated is the idea that you shouldn't talk about it. When you establish these boundaries early, you set the tone for the entire relationship. Open communication, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. 6. Use this conversation to build closeness, not distance. You can transform what could be an awkward moment into a bonding experience. I want us to trust each other enough to talk openly, even about things people usually avoid. This makes intimacy feel safer, not just physically but emotionally. 7. Remember, the right partner won't make you feel uncomfortable for bringing it up. If someone reacts with anger, guilt-tripping, or defensiveness, that's not chemistry. That's a red flag. The partner who values you will appreciate that you care about both of your well-being. In the end, protection isn't about fear. It's about staying healthy enough to enjoy the love, passion, and connection you've worked so hard to rediscover. Senior dating is evolving. The rules have changed. And those who thrive are the ones who understand this universal truth. Safe intimacy isn't just responsible. It's a form of love in action. There's a moment many seniors know well. The pause before letting someone new see you, not just physically but emotionally. I remember standing there, heart racing, wondering if my changes were too visible. But when I finally opened up, the other person admitted they felt the same fear. And in that shared honesty, the tension dissolved, replaced by relief and a quiet sense of being understood. Intimacy after 60 can surpass the passion of youth because it's rooted in choice, trust, and genuine connection rather than obligation or expectation. Every touch, every laugh, every shared moment is intentional. You engage not to impress or fulfill duty, but to connect, explore, and enjoy, making love in later life a deeper, richer, and more fulfilling experience than ever before. Thank you for joining us today and exploring the realities of love and intimacy after 60. We'd love to hear from you. Comment below which senior dating myth you want us to bust next. Your experiences matter, and your voice can help others feel seen and understood. Don't forget to subscribe for more honest, judgment-free advice on relationships, connection, and dating in later life.